I feel like I'm teaching. Cause I love coming to Missouri. Alright, I live in Kentucky, so I love coming here because at least you understand a redneck with cerebral palsy. People don't understand it other places like Los Angeles. They're like, how'd that happen? I'm like, white trash breeds in all shapes and forms. Because what I hate is like people ask me about cerebral palsy and I don't know anything about it, so I have to start making up stuff. What is cerebral palsy? As far as I know, it's superpowers and a large tallywhacker. That's what I tell people. People are like, how do you spell it? Because we live in an inquisitive society too. Does it look like I ever want to spell me ever in my lifetime? I went to alternative high school. We had a lot of movies, of course, asshole. I'm 5 generations white trash. Anybody else 5 generations? No, just me. Y'all went to college. That's good. But like, you gotta understand. My grandma, like, she's the patriarch of the family. She would show up to your birthday and still have your birthday cake. That's who she is. You can't expect a lady that shows up to Thanksgiving with her own pea bucket to know what cerebral palsy is. She just doesn't. Like, she'll be sitting around, she'll be like, you know what, David, for a retard, you get ready for damn good. And I'm her favorite, all right? You gotta understand my friendships too growing up. You ever been to a wedding and you know that's thing gonna last, so you show up with a shitty gift like, fuck it. I'm showing a paper towel. Screw this bastard. This is the first time I ever got arrested, right? I was in 4th grade, right? I'm hanging out with my buddy Joe Canosa, who my dad hated Joe, by the way. He thought he was part of the mafia, which made no damn sense because he grew up in the trailer park with me. And he would be like, you know what, he probably supports Mussolini, which I thought was a pizza place the whole damn time. I was like, where's this pizza place at? And he was screaming about it. So we're sitting there. Like, so when I was a kid, I had braces on my legs like Forrest Gump. But me and Joe were convinced that he was a witch, right? Because she sold Mary Kay products, right? So me and Joe are going to man with the witch's trailer, right? Trying to run around town because we didn't know witchcraft or anything. And the police show up and Joe goes, run! And I went to run and I tripped over a pothole. The whole point of this damn story is Forrest Gump is bullshit. Because I had to do community service in 4th grade. It's a good time. Anybody from small town America, like Lebanon or anything like that out here? Yeah. Yeah, did you see are you guys the teacher's kids or are you the trailer park kids? Middle? What's the middle? The police officer kids? Like, see, here's the thing about small town. We didn't have dreams. Like, well, I'm 42 years old. I'm 40, like, he's young, he had internet. We didn't, one time we gave dog an acid, all right? And the people that don't like it, listen, the dog is way happier than any dog that you put like damn antlers on ever. Like, you know that dog's like, man, shit, Christmas is here again. I gotta put a sweater on. Yeah, so this dog was way happier than anybody in this room, man, because this dog chased imaginary cats for 18 years. But see, like, my dream wasn't that people thought, first of all, people thought my dream was to be a stand-up comic. I was like, shit, no. Like, people were like, what were your dreams? Because I lived in Los Angeles. They're like, what was your dream growing up? I was like, oh shit, I wanted to be a carny. No, that's true. Like, you ever go to a small town carnival and you see all the little tweaker children going on in the carnival? Because we're going up there to fight them. Because that's how we think we get the job. We're like, you know how many times I fought the Ferris wheel driver? That's real stuff, man. Like, but see, here's the thing. Like, when I was growing up, like, the term redneck wasn't a term of endearment, right? Like, I was in Los Angeles and some dude goes, you dumb redneck? I said, what'd you call me? I called you dumb redneck. I said, I'm not a redneck, I'll stab you. I didn't know that was part of the stereotype at the time. LA, man, they'd be like, man, you're the most country person I've ever seen. I'm like, man, you've never been to a Kentucky flea market. Because I feel like I'm a doctor when I walk into that shit. I'm like, man, I'm the only one with good credit. This is amazing. Now, I'm not pro or against anything, but there was a guy that had a t-shirt that said, my body, my choice, in the flea market, and he had 2 funnel cakes. I was like, this is kind of contradictory, isn't it? Like, now show me a knife. I don't care, man. I got the vaccine just because I had to go to LA. But people like, it's like, because they profile me. They're like, man, like, he's got to be one of those conspiracy nuts. No, that's what happened. The lady goes, when I went to go get the Johnson & Johnson, she goes, you know there's not a tracking device in this, right? I'm like, no, I'm not one of those people, all right? I know with my crooked teeth, it looks like I am, but yeah, that's how I feel, man. Like, you gotta understand, like, and I thought everybody grew up like me, like, because I grew up in a time when there was nothing. I grew up in a town of 5,000 people, so I thought everybody grew up like I did. I thought everybody was a ring bearer at their parents' wedding. And that's some real shit. My dad was different, okay? Anybody, like, you were in the middle, so your dad wasn't like a factory worker or anything like that? No. So your dad carried back the dreams and all this shit. Like my dad was a factory worker, so you have to understand factory worker dads, all right? They don't care. You can't. My dad worked 16 hours a day. My dad wasn't like, hey, tell me your feelings. Like, you know what my dad did when I was 6 years old? He signed me up for soccer. If you forgot, I had cerebral palsy. He's like, you're 6, time to learn from this one. Some of you don't like that, but my dad.